It was supposed to be a fun night, a reunion with people I hadn't seen in years. Friends from college, old classmates, familiar faces from a time when life felt simpler. I had been looking forward to it, partly because it was an opportunity to reconnect, and partly because I wanted to show that my life had been going somewhere. I had asked my wife to come with me. She agreed, though I noticed she seemed distracted that evening, scrolling on her phone more than usual and checking her reflection in the mirror. I tried to brush it off, telling myself I was being paranoid. The reunion hall was packed with people laughing, sharing stories, and catching up. I felt a little nervous, but seeing old friends made me relax. I spotted a few familiar faces, shook hands, gave hugs, and started talking about work, life, and family. Everything was going smoothly. Then she walked in. My wife. She looked stunning, as always, in a dress that drew attention without trying too hard. I smiled, proud to have her by my side, thinking that maybe tonight would be nice, a little escape from the routine stress of life. But almost immediately, something changed. As we mingled, I noticed the way she laughed at certain jokes, not at mine, but at someone else's. I felt that small, nagging tension I had learned to recognize over the months, the one that warned me something was off. I tried to ignore it, to focus on the people around me, but it kept growing. Then it happened. One of her male friends, a guy I had never met before, made a casual comment that brushed against her arm. She laughed, leaned in closer, and whispered something to him. I could see it clearly. The way she smiled at him, the tilt of her head, the attention she was giving him that I hadn't received in months. I stepped forward, ready to say something, to pull her aside quietly. Before I could, she turned to the group around her, and to my absolute shock, she made a comment about me. "Oh, don't mind him," she said, with a small smirk. "He's kinda boring these days, you know?" Laughter erupted around us. Old friends who hadn't seen me in years were suddenly looking at me with raised eyebrows, some unsure how to react. I felt my face burn with embarrassment, my stomach twisting. I opened my mouth, wanting to defend myself, to make a joke, to save some shred of dignity, but the words wouldn't come. I realized painfully that this wasn't a harmless comment. This was her showing, in front of everyone, that she didn't respect me, that she had already taken sides, emotionally, maybe even physically, with someone else. I felt something inside me snap. Not anger at first, not rage, just clarity. The years of subtle betrayals, the late-night calls she couldn't tell me about, the secretive smiles, the emotional distance, they all added up. This public humiliation was the final piece. I took a deep breath, keeping my voice low but firm. "I think I'm going to step outside for a minute," I said, grabbing my jacket. I didn't wait for her to protest. I didn't argue, didn't beg. I turned and walked out. The night air hit me like a wave. I walked down the street, my thoughts spinning. I realized something fundamental. I couldn't stay with someone who didn't respect me, not in private, not in public. If she could embarrass me in front of old friends, then the intimacy, the trust, the foundation of our marriage had already been compromised. I didn't go back. I didn't call her. I didn't respond to her frantic texts or calls. I went home, packed my things quietly over the next few days, and moved out. Not out of spite, not out of anger, out of clarity. I knew what I deserved, and she had already shown me that she wasn't going to provide it. Friends and family were shocked when I told them. Some didn't understand why I left over a single comment at a reunion, but they hadn't seen the months of betrayal leading up to that night. They hadn't seen the way she had withdrawn emotionally, the subtle lies, the secret attention she had given someone else. The reunion was just the moment it all became visible, undeniable, and real. In the weeks that followed, I reflected on the relationship. I realized that walking away wasn't cowardice. It was courage. It wasn't giving up. It was refusing to accept a life where my dignity and self-respect were secondary to someone else's desires. I found solace in simple things, reconnecting with friends, focusing on my work, pursuing hobbies I had neglected. I realized that the embarrassment I felt that night, while sharp and painful, had also been liberating. It forced me to see the truth without excuses, without hope for change that wasn't coming. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that she had started seeing someone else openly. There was a fleeting sting, but no bitterness. By walking away, I had saved myself from years of silent pain and betrayal. I had chosen my self-respect over humiliation, clarity over confusion, and honesty over pretense. Looking back, I don't regret that night at the reunion. I don't regret walking away. It was the moment I stopped letting someone else's choices dictate my worth. And in the silence that followed, I found something more valuable than any relationship could provide. My own peace, my own dignity, and the knowledge that I would never again tolerate betrayal disguised as love.